If you lost somebody that you absolutely loved with every fiber of your being, somebody that was your flesh and blood, somebody that you couldn't live without, and you were absolutely torn up, and you could get the answers for those, how far would you go to get said answers? And if you got them, how far would you go to get revenge on whoever took the person that you absolutely loved away from you and ripped apart your life? The Apology is a Shudder exclusive from writer-director Alison Starlock. Why they're a star, I don't know. Maybe they were just a really, really big fan of the Locke character from Final Fantasy III, aka Final Fantasy VI in Japan. But I digress. This is their feature film debut and stars Anna Gunn. Anna's got a gun. Actually, literally in this movie, Anna does have a gun. She plays the character Darlene, who is a recovering alcoholic that is torn to pieces by the fact that she lost her daughter, Sally. Her daughter went missing. She doesn't know where she is. She doesn't know if she's alive, if she's dead. Is it real? Is it Memorex? She's torn up and she's planning to finally throw a family Christmas party. But then late that night, somebody comes into her life, comes back into her life in the form of a former brother-in-law, Jack, played by Linus Roach. And from there, certain things get talked about, certain things get revealed that show that this particular holiday night is going to turn out really, really bad, and it's going to get really, really dark, really, really vile, and Darlene's really going to have to question just exactly how far she's willing to go to find out what happened to her daughter. So, yeah, it's a basic revenge film plot, and there's really not a lot to talk about because it takes place on one set. Janine Garofalo has a supporting role in this as the neighbor, Gretchen. A supporting role in the sense that she's on the, cast listing, and she's in a few scenes, and that's really about it. It's focused on Anna Gunn and Linus Roach, and that's really about it. Doesn't take long for certain things to get revealed. And then there you go. And then we're off with a cat and mouse game and all that. And it pretty much is easy to spoil because since there's only a few people in it, you pretty much figure out exactly what happens. And nothing that gets revealed is particularly shocking. And the thing about a movie like this is some revenge plot thrillers can work when you have decent acting and pretty good characters. Unfortunately, this movie only really has decent acting. The characters are kind of one note. And it really does get stretched. It really gets really, really stretched thin. I mean, at 90 minutes, this thing gets really threadbare about 30 minutes in. And unfortunately, that's kind of where the movie falls off the rails. Now, I'm not saying it's the worst thing I've seen, but it's easily one of the most generic and kind of, quite frankly, boring movies because you don't really have any feelings one way or the other for any of the characters. I mean, since there's only a few people in there, you just get to focus on the fact that, okay, you understand why Darlene feels the way she does, why Jack feels the way he does, but everything just kind of goes topsy-turvy and gets a little bit ridiculous, and it gets really wildly ridiculous. I understand what they were trying to do, but it didn't overall work for me. It was basically just, It was really just, And it has a conclusion, it's mostly just, The movie just gets stretched out with long talking pieces and kind of recycling the dialogue, and that's really it. That's really goddamn it. There isn't a lot to spoil in this, but it's on Shudder. If you want to check it out, feel free to give it a look. Maybe you'll end up liking it. The acting isn't bad, but the rest of the movie is just meh. So anyway, let's get into spoilers right now. So again, on Shudder, if you want to check it out, Shudder's a great streaming service. Check it out. Subscribe to it. 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. No, I'm not sponsored by Shudder. Wouldn't mind being sponsored, but I digress. They wouldn't sponsor a small channel like this. It turns out that Jack is a goddamn creep. He's a former brother-in-law because he used to be married to Darlene's sister, but him and Darlene slept together at one point, and it also turns out that Jack actually arred and murdered Sally. That's it. That's it. He tries to explain it away, and then she ends up trapping him at one point, tying him down, shoots him in the leg with the gun that he had. Even after he tries to threaten her, he even had needles. He had all this stuff planned. He planned that his truck would have been broken down, but actually it wasn't because it's a small neighborhood with literally 2 goddamn houses. Gretchen comes to help her with something and then drives literally a block up. I know it was really cold, but you could have walked. That's what was kind of goddamn hilarious to me. The atmosphere's fine. I mean, since it's just in one central location, I cannot imagine this movie costs all that much. But yeah, what basically ends up happening is Darlene turns the tables on Jack, beats him up. Gretchen comes over to help at one point after hearing a gunshot while Jack's trapped in the basement. And Gretchen ends up almost getting shot by Jack because they tie him up on the bed, but oh my god, he escapes. And then Darlene knocks him down some stairs, and she had these tapes that she had him listen to, tapes of Sally singing. And then he says, I'm going to confess everything to you, but you have to shoot me. Oh, okay, I will. And don't record. Don't worry, the cell phone's off. See, cell phone's off. Nobody's being recorded. And he tells all this stuff, and then it turns out, oh, there's this boom box. The sound of my heart, the beat goes on and on and on and on and on. Boom box. Boy, that's a goddamn old reference from Charlie XCX that was boom clap. She's using the boombox to record over one of the tapes that Sally used to sing. And that's it. That's it. And then she shoots by his head, and then he gets arrested. And her and Gretchen talk a little bit. Darlene reflects, and that's it. I'm sorry, that gets an F because it's just so threadbare. And while I understand that anybody that experiences this kind of loss would go to extreme lengths to find out the answers and get revenge on the person that did that to their particular family member or the person they loved, F, it's just very, very basic and generic. Sorry. Anyway, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ricklin. I'll see you soon.